Hi everyone, welcome back to another video from Wesknows Tech News and Reviews. Today we'll be doing the heart rate accuracy test for Redmi Smart Band Pro. So this little thing here is just £47. That's the cheapest price I've found on Amazon.co.uk. So think about it, $55, 47 quid, that's all it costs. And I've actually put it to the test against the Polar H10 ECG chest strap as well as the Garmin Venu 2. And considering that this thing is £350 or around $400 to $450 versus 10% of that, what do you think were the results? Well, stick around to find out. So let me kick off with actually telling you a little bit about the Redmi Smart Band Pro. So considering that it is extremely budget, 47 quid or around $55, so that's very budget. It's got a 1.47 inch AMOLED display. It is large, and look at the design. So what Redmi did here, they didn't do the traditional face where lots of plastic, very little OLED, and they didn't do the same as Honor Band 6 nor Huawei Band 6. They actually went for the more traditional look. There is only a capacitive button. Well, there's not really a button, it's just a touch screen, but there is no physical button, and that does make it stand out. I absolutely love the brightness on this thing. 450 nits of brightness, 90 sport modes, 2 auto-detected sport modes, continuous SPO2. So all the things that we were praising in the Huawei Band 6 for being so technologically advanced but so budget, this thing repeats it. But now it comes in with a design that I do find more interesting. The Huawei and the Honor Band 6 were exciting because they brought this hybrid look. It's not quite the fitness tracker that we're used to, but it's not also a smartwatch, although it had a big screen, but it had a physical button on the side. The Smart Band Pro does not have a physical button on the side. There's no capacitive button either. It's just a touch activated display, but it remains slimline. It's both in thickness as well as in the whole design. It is minimalistic, but you do get much better viewing angles than on the 1.6 inch Xiaomi Mi Band 6. So you can monitor your stress continuously. You've got breathing exercises. You've got 90 sport modes. You've got women's health here. You've got your calendar, your stopwatch, your timer, your messages. You've got a lot of things. And most importantly, it's got a very accurate heart rate monitor. So the optical heart rate monitor sitting at the back here, it's actually very good. And we're actually going to show you this in this accuracy test. So without further ado, let's get onto the results. So I think now is probably the time to introduce the exercise which I was doing. So I was on the skipping rope in the gym for around 10 minutes. The skipping rope is a great exercise to keep your heart rate intense, to pump it up and to have a very high and stably high heart rate. Let's look at the results from the chest strap. And as we expect, we can see that the average heart rate was 145 beats per minute, while the max was 162 beats per minute. So you don't get this huge variance between the average and the max, simply because it is a high intensity exercise which you do continuously over a period of time. In my case, 10 minutes. Let's take a look at what the Redmi Smart Band Pro came up with, and then we'll take a look at what the Garmin Venu 2 came up with. And this is basically a watch which costs almost 10 times as much. Let's take a look at the results from the Redmi Pro. If I just told you the numbers, you probably wouldn't believe me. So I will show you the numbers. The average was 146 beats per minute, while the max was 160 beats per minute. So let's do the maths. 145 is an understatement of 1 beat per minute from the average as measured by the Polar H10 ECG chest strap. So that's a variance of about 0.6%. Now let's look at the max, 160 beats per minute versus 162. So that gives us a variance of just over 1%. We're looking about 1.3% variance. Another understatement. So really, what can we say? Well, to me, this sounds absolutely amazing. A super budget tracker has done very well. Now let's take a look at the results from the Garmin Venu 2. We know that the optical heart rate sensor on the Garmin Venu 2 is very accurate. We've been testing it for quite some time now, and we know that during strength exercises, during your runs, cycles, tennis games, well, I found that the Garmin Venu 2 is extra precise, extra accurate. But this time, well, we just didn't test it with a high intensity activity, which is short-lived, 10 minutes, and the results were interesting, to say the least. Let's take a look at them now. So what we see with the Garmin is we get the average heart rate of 151 beats per minute, while the max is 169 beats per minute. So here overall we see this huge overstatement. Well, it's not really huge, because considering all the other watches we've seen on this channel, it's still very good results, but it's way out from the lower intensity exercises we've been looking at previously. So really, we have an overstatement of 6 beats per minute on the average, and we have an overstatement of 7 beats per minute on the max, coming up to about, well, 4% difference on the average as well as the max. Is that a major difference? Well, it's not major, it's within 5%, so it's still super accurate. But it's just surprising that the budget Smartband Pro basically had a much better result. So there we go. There is the heart rate accuracy test of the Redmi Smartband Pro. And of course, I did bring in the Venu 2 just to show you that budget trackers can be just as good in maybe not everything, but in some things than their more expensive counterparts. Anyways, thank you for watching this accuracy test from Wesknows Tech News and Reviews. If you enjoyed it, please drop me a like. And if you want to see more of the same, you know what to do. Please click the red subscribe button below the video. And I'll see you in the next one.